Welcome everybody to the Onward VRML custom map pool tournament, or just map pool tournament. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we got ourselves a, in my opinion, pretty hyped up match. OJC versus Mayhem, duking it out in the battlefield. We got a predetermined set of maps for today. As the tournament goes, there is no map choice that comes in from each team. It's purely a set map list, so I already know what we got in the future. I'm going to keep you guys on your toes and keep you guys guessing, but I already know what maps are coming down the pipeline. You can really you can ultimately find out as well. We're going to kick things off in Cargo, so you know, standard familiar map everyone's comfortable with. We all know experienced Cargo. It should be fun to watch both of these teams duke out in Cargo. We'll be moving on to Snow Peak for map number 2, and then eventually Panda Towers for map number 3. So we'll get the custom maps in at some point, but not right out the gate, admittedly. So a hype way to start the series. Cargo, you know, that close quarters action. I'm looking forward to it. Before we dive in, a shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I appreciate you all patiently waiting for some Onward to get cast. There should, I mean, I know Mono jumped on a game yesterday. There should be more Onward getting cast here on Onward VRML over the course of the next few weeks as we do get into this map pool tournament. Tons of games out there to be casted, really. I think there's also the option for some of those scrim casters that you may be familiar with, casting scrimmages, to hop in here and cast some games. So I think there may be another game going on right now as well, if you do want to check that out. But hey, I recommend sticking by here because this is going to be action packed. I got to make sure no one's pinging me and that they're ready to go. Ready when you are. Give them the go-ahead. And we'll be diving in at... handling some logistics, given again the teams the go-ahead. It seems like they're actually waiting on me. So now both squads do know to start and dive into this game. As I say that, the timer begins to tick down, and we are getting in to round number 1 of map 1. Oop, a bit. I do apologies there for a bit of a technical hiccup. That'll go back to normal in just a brief moment. So do stand by on that one.
Thank you. Get him. If I don't get him, look away.
Little call out coming in there from Mono to me on the casting desk. If you want audio louder, if audio is too quiet, please, I'm open to suggestions. I'll try and be monitoring for those and getting to them 6 minutes later. But out the gate, Mono pushing up relatively aggressively. The OJC defense playing this one pretty conserved. They are really tucking into standard positions. They're not pushing up to the barrels, which is a bit of a more forward spot for a defensive position here, but they don't need to. On this objective, you really don't need to have a intense coverage of the front of the cargo crate. Where the OJC has invested their defensive resources is the proper place to invest them. James manages to find the kill. A great nade toss, causing that body to eventually move out of position and then get confirmed with an AK. So I don't know if the body actually ended up on the roof like it is for us, but quite the move from that explosion. And now CK Japan just poking up here to take up this position. Sky Joker nearly going down, maybe not expecting the reinforcements on this spot. Ooh, another nade coming in, this time from Wookie. That corner just proving detrimental to this OJC team. Kogero trying to get the res. Another nade comes in. Shots from Sky Joker find the confirm, and we are in to this round 1. Mayhem taking strong command. Now the push should be coming in from this team. Maybe they're not aware they've confirmed so many down with the nades, but either way, the pursuit continues to come in. More nades continue to fall through, just barely missing the likes of the defense here. Nashi is able to get a res. If he can swing and get the kills, one goes down. Sky Joker getting scooped up. Wookie looking for the shots here. Raid going on the other side of the map. Nashi does push up in the chaos, does get the res. 2v3 now. Theta rotating in through the center. Nashi drops back behind the fire of Wookie, and now they've reinforced their defensive positioning. A nade comes out and over. Wookie drops back at a great time. That nade would have been real successful on the corner, but where is the rest of this team pushing in? Theta swings wide, the trade comes in. Nashi can get rezzed. CK pushes up here to get it. James also can pick up the res on Theta, so could be a 2-for-2 bit of exchange. Oh no, Theta actually getting confirmed. James gonna swing wide, tries to find Nashi, does find the backside as Nashi was rotating. James continues to push forward, and CK Japan now tucked into the backside. Here's these footsteps, here's the rotation behind him. Maybe James doesn't hear this movement as CK does push in. James on objective, looking to punch in the code. Wookie finds the kill onto CK. Could have potentially been a cap, but Mayhem with just 2 left alive. Snag round 1, barely. Who is home and who is away? OJC is home, I believe. Oh, dang it, I had the... A solid performance, though, coming in from both squads, honestly. For OJC to weather that storm, very nicely done, the way that they got those reses. But, geez, the nades from Mayhem just raining in destruction. Tough to bounce back from, tough to avoid really at all. But I guess if you don't sit in that cornered position, then you don't get hit by those nades. So I don't know. If he moved up to barrel, I think that would have gotten identified, and that would have been naded as well. So either way, that side of the map was going to catch some nades, and it got a couple of kills. Almost got maybe more than it should have, but either way. A solid push from Mayhem that does get them that round 1 W. And a quick look at the KD feed there. James with 2, Mono getting 1, proving his shout out to me to be worthwhile, as he did find a kill. He also did die, though, so shame on him. But again, you know, only 2 were left alive there at the end of that round, so Mayhem just able to screech away with a round 1 W. I anticipate this to be a pretty good back and forth. I'm looking forward to Snow Peak and then obviously Panda Towers. I really do want to see how these teams face off in a bit of a more fresh environment. Round 2 now underway. Brief apologies there for having that window come up, trying to get chat up so I can monitor your feedback. I always like to hear what you guys have to say about the cast, but round 2 now underway. This time OJC making the push. Some suppressive fire coming in from CK Japan. Again, getting up there with the LMG. Full of smokes coming in here as well to deny some vision and kind of keep Wookiee tucked in. He can't get a good line of sight there on that doorway. He peeks out too. He's got Axella waiting. Nade comes out and over. That's a flash that goes a bit far. Wookiee doesn't seem to be affected by that one. The push coming in. Theta finds a couple of the C4. That's what he was waiting for. That detonation comes in. And then Wookiee swings. The revive comes in from James. The push coming in on the outside. Theta here looking for some action. Axella pushing up forward. Mono is right up in his grill. Axella does manage to pass just past Wookiee. Wookiee finds the shots onto the back. And the trade between Black and Theta in the center. Mayhem with only 1 up this time. Scrape away another round, but wow. A close one. Oh, I got the scoreline again. I had the scoreline right. Apologies, folks. There we go. Everything's sorted. Mayhem out the gate. Looking strong, playing aggressive, able to defend that OJC push. That did look good. They had some good smoke placement, some good rotations in, but ultimately just not enough to sort of get through that defense. And Wookiee just able to stay in there, tucked in, holding on to that C4, waiting for it, ultimately detonating it to no success, but then swinging and finally getting that kill that could have been a potential cap, since he was one of the last defenders alive. So good bit of back and forth here, and despite Mayhem having a 2-0 lead, I think OJC can very easily crawl back right here. We're next objective, we're shifting to the other side of the map over to the tanker, or the fuel tank, excuse me, and propane tank. That's what I'm looking for. That's the word I was looking for. And we'll see what kind of defensive style OJC go for. The crossing of this gap. Relatively risky. If you get some well-placed smokes, it makes it obviously less. Still, teams do send suppressive fire down this main lane, so I don't know if I recommend a early cross per se, but OJC is certainly going to want to have some control over on objective side. So we'll see what their initial plan is as we dive in to round number 3. Round 2 underway. Early smokes coming in. That one not going to be quite good enough, but hey, I guess it is good enough. Kogero does get a pass. In the meanwhile, shots are ringing out, mostly down this lane from James. The rest of this push under the guise of that fire does work themselves up. Mono trades with Black. Mono is able to get rezzed. Axella doesn't swing wide. Nashi doesn't swing here either. Kogero does find one through the gaps, and they have to drop back. The threat of Kogero there. See the comms come in. Theta actually finds him over in the corner, and now we are down to a 4v3.
Peak tunnel.
She does. Oh, a little bit of an aggressive swing up there. Might have been able to ID Joker. Has to be cautious of Theta's position. He's going to swing out, though. He does push forward. Theta's not going to spot him. Back to the center. Maybe this will be his demise. He does pop. Finds Theta in the meantime. Sky and Mono here. Still waiting on the push. CK scoops up one on the end that was trying to come in. Mono and Theta now working themselves up. Mono here just goes past this full defense. Scoots past two. Excella now up in the corner is going to be his next opponent. No, Nashi actually swings in from around the back end, and it's all going to come down to Sky Joker. This could be OJC's first round on the board. Whoa, and C4 detonated by Excella. I was waiting to see what was going to happen there. I didn't even see the C4 in the corner. The detonation goes off, and OJC, with 3 left alive off of this round, managed to come back. And, you know, this is what I was sort of expecting. I figured if it's going to be a time for OJC to get on the board, it's going to be after a pretty couple of close rounds. So now Mayhem, maybe on the back foot momentum-wise. We'll see how they handle... oh, I put the wrong... Jeez, I can't get the score right for the life of me. I got to remember these home teams. Shout out to everyone that's correcting me on the scores. Score is absolutely wrong, but either way, off to a great start for this series, just for us spectators. If you're OJC, obviously you got yourself a little bit of a road ahead of you, but I don't know. This map with smokes definitely this objective, excuse me, with smokes certainly capable. And, you know, in this map in particular with smokes, that's an available option. Yeah, there's absolutely the possibility of caps coming in here on cargo, despite its close quarters and sort of tendency to be fast-paced. If smokes are placed right, it can result in a cap. So, kind of curious. Well, I mean, you know, that last round where those nade kills came in, I think it was 5 grenades that were thrown. So that means every single person took a grenade to be able to do that. So I don't know, maybe we won't even see any smokes because these nade tosses have been really effective for this team so far. Mayhem certainly utilizing their utility well as we get into round number 4. We'll see what Mayhem does on the defense.
No cap, guys.
Alright, let's run across and die immediately.
Don't run across straight away. You don't need to.
I just wanted to trigger you.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
they rush. What if they rush?
Wookie and Mono aware of the potential threat of crossing and actually calling out what if they rush. That is the case. Kogiru has thrown a smoke and has crossed that lane already. No one has, crossed that street just yet. As I say that, Mono gets himself across. Maybe he can use that smoke to his advantage. James finds one. There's another swinging up through the likes of the far end side. OJC Black gets scooped up by the C4. Kogiru with his suppressive fire drew the attention, and then the push came in. In the meanwhile, we have a bit of an entry coming in from Excella and Jam, both able to get up. Good smoke coming in. The objective heavily smoked now. Wookie has to be a little bit more cautious if you do see him peeking. Nachi able to find one. Theta. No, Sky Joker actually finding that refrag. Tucks himself back in. Excella now. A bit of a danger spot. The suppressive fire coming in back and forth from both ends. Excella able to drop back. In the meanwhile, Kogiru putting some shots out. C4 for him. Gets scooped, finds his demise as Sky Joker now trying to fend off Excella's push. He gets it, and Mayhem coming out on top. 3-1. A quick one. I'll get the score right this time. Boom. Also, you know, some apologies for the cam work. We're not. It's gonna get second map. It's gonna be great. Right now, it's still getting. It's been a while since been a couple of weeks since we've cammed in some Onward games. So I'm getting the swing of things back here. But appreciate everyone that is hanging out here and tuning in. you know, the Mayhem OJC team, both pretty popular squads in the VRML. You know, the likes of Mono with his casts, Theta with his tutorial videos, and then OJC with just all of their promotion amongst their community. It's great to see both of these teams battling it out against each other and ultimately having a pretty good set. So, looking forward to how this ends, how this turns out over the course of the next few maps. And for those who again are maybe not aware, the tournament format does not allow for picks or bans, which is why you don't see any here. Or, well, bans, and the maps are already pre-chosen per week. So, Cargo is the first map of the series for every team that's playing in this tournament this week, and of course the next few weeks. Cargo's the first map, Snow Peak is second, and then Panda Tower is our final map. We'll be wrapping things up. So. Whoever wins, if we can manage to go to a best of 3 for map 3, that'll definitely make things exciting, because that's where we're going to get some real variety, some unknowns on a map that is certainly less practiced than the likes of Cargo. And although I suppose Snow Peak should certainly warrant some interesting strats, it has had some adjustments to it. But either way, we're here on Cargo, getting back into the action in round 5.
Thanks, sir.
Here, take it.
Sorry, Mono, I mean.
This is how you play this game now. It's like the ape chase. Yeah, have you seen that game? It's like, yeah.
No early cross coming in.
Door again?
Yep.
The full force of Mayhem just monitoring maybe an aggressive push from the likes of OJC, but it is not coming in. Especially with this objective, they don't have to play it aggressive again. They can afford to play pretty reserved, actually. The question is do they have enough forward defense? Only seeing, there's the 5th way in the back. I was only seeing 4. But if they lose, Excella and Kog, Nashi and CK have to react quick. Have to instantly dive back into the, get those reses, or at least fend off the push, because the front end of this objective, where the objective sits, is a little bit exposed. Managed to push up from their sat back positions. Sky Joker's cross, Theta and Mono positioned in the middle.
Sky Joe, he's in the spot I put you on defense last time, on the board. Yep. Mono.
Again, James with some suppressive fire there. Just down that long lane. Here come the nades, something that this OJC team has to be wary of. They've been incredibly successful. Kogero goes down there with I think it was a rifle kill, not even necessarily a grenade. More shots coming in. Theta and Nashi trading in the center.
I'm coming. I've got it. Hold me, cover me.
I got you. Thank you. I was already there. Alright, confirmed.
OJC Black going down. More kills raining in as Mono pushes in. CK getting some shots over his shoulder. Mono's going to charge in. Excella gets the res. He can challenge Mono. Does able to get across. IDs that position. Tries to repeat. Can't get the shots. Rotating back around here. Maybe expecting Mono to do the same. Does identify to Mono. End up trading. Theta now pushing in from the center. Wookie and the Sky Joker a bit trapped. Theta needs to reinforce the positions. CK trying to get the res. Does get Black up. Now it's a 2v3. OJC again on the back foot here in a very similar position as they were in that first round, but let's see if they can fend off this push. Theta's swinging in. He does get identified. Black able to find him through the crevasse there. As now CK and Black again swinging wide, scoops up another. More shots coming in, this time from Wookie as suppressive fire comes out. Maybe running low on ammo, but he's got plenty of time. 3 minutes on the clock. Suppressive fire, but it's not enough. If anything, Black fearlessly swings after the shots stop going in his direction and gets the kill on a exposed rotation. Keeping things close here in this series, as I anticipated. Another point going to OJC, 3-2 now. Love to see it. Love to see that ability to weather the storm. The nade kills, the res coming in there, the key res coming in to scoop them up, and nicely done. Kills spread really across the field there. As the full push comes in, you have some kills coming in from that east side, and the push up through the center. Just a nice bit of coordination from Mayhem. What you would expect out of a team of that caliber, of that skill level. So not terribly surprised, but either way, a good bit of coordination that ultimately is still defended against by the likes of OJC. So just a good back and forth here today. Complaints from me. Oops. You lost me there for a second. Apologies. Round number...
It was really fucking funny.
What is it, 6? Coming in here.
Oh my god. Get in there. Come on, controller, don't play up now.
This cross right here, or this line.
Yeah, that line.
Ditching the pistol. We'll see what the defensive strat is here. If Kogero is going to cross. The smoke's coming in. Is it well placed? He does get across, but gets tagged once or twice. Here comes the push. A quick one at that. CK instantly up in through the center. There's suppressive fire coming in, but no real rotation. And as I say that, Black going to utilize that suppressive fire to push himself up. He's that C4, able to tuck himself in for the detonation. James catches one with a nade. Another nade comes in. Excella goes down. The push comes out. One goes down. Wookie ends up in a trade, but it's a double for Wookie. So an overall positive for that team. And as I say that, CK tries to swing out from the center. Theta and James there to defend, and this push shut down by Mayhem as they snag cargo and take round 1. And hey, just an impressive bit of performance there from the Mayhem team, playing fast and aggressive, able to defend against OJC, who are arguably playing offense a little bit quicker than that Mayhem team was. So interesting to see them able to defend so well against that aggression. But OJC almost had it, just can't quite get the right smokes they need to get into the position that they're looking for. I think they were trying to go for an aggressive push-up with a cap, but Wookie and that C4 really playing spoiler on that west end, just not allowing it to happen. So good defense from Mayhem. And now, like I said, map 2 does take us to Snow Peak. Scroll through the bevy of maps that we have here. There's a lot of them. Map 2 is going to be Snow Peak, obviously. If maybe not obviously, if you're not familiar. Snow Peak a bit more wider ranged, a bit has some of those longer ranged angles, but depending on the objective placement, can get you some tight close quarters action. So we'll see. We'll see how this this match on Snow Peak ends up getting carried out. A lot of players do really enjoy watching Snow Peak. I know it's a couple of people's favorites, but not regularly in the rotation. At least I suppose it has been over the last few months, but at least in season 10 or season 11, it wasn't in there. Season 10 or season 11, the next season. Either way, fun to see. I've only casted it a handful of times, so always a good time when you get to go onto a map that you haven't been on a bunch. And that's why I'm also very much looking forward to the likes of Panda Towers on that for that final map of the day. I also do want it to get to that best of 3. So in my heart, I guess I'm rooting for OJC here in this next map to beat out my co-casting brethren. You know, I don't. No remorse, I suppose. But both teams in and ready to go. I'm just going to make sure they're not waiting on me. Trying to get some replays going here again. Just shaking the cobwebs off of the cams. Had a little more action in those last few rounds. Like I said, it was getting better. Now is really when things are I'm gonna be on point. Replays coming at you left and right. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Suppose while we have a bit of downtime, I can promote some venue shows going on over the weekends. You know, Echo Arena does shows Saturday, Sunday. So if you just like watching esports in VR in that venue space, always an option on the weekends. I recommend it. I like to just go in there and chill. It's how I like to watch those games. And so if you have any, if you enjoy watching Echo Arena at all, I do recommend checking out that venue space. But that's enough of that. Snow Peak underway here as we get into round one. Maybe this is why people like Snow Peak so much. The fresh crunch of that powder. That snow on the ground. Notice though, not a lot of concern about this rotation that they're pushing out here. Theta may have an angle. I think he's tucked in. Yeah, he's pretty tucked. He's tucked in pretty tightly. He doesn't have the line of sight there. Oh, for some reason it took me to James. Well, that's fun. Wookie may be the first one that runs into some action though, as Black CK, the three-man split coming in here, and the suppressive fire coming in. Wookie's actually positioned a little bit lower though. He's not up in that sort of elevated position.
Blind fire, they don't know him here.
Yeah, if he plays this patiently, this could be bad news for OJC. Smoke comes out, up and over. More smokes. Wookie now communicating. This should give him away. C4 detonates. Down go two. He's going to pop up and over. The flash comes up. No, it's a nade. He's going for the confirm on the back end. That nade goes a bit wide. Kogeru has an opportunity to jump back and get Black. So what could have been 3 dead is only 1. Wookie nearly taking out quite a few of this OJC offense, but fortunately enough, they drop back, get the res, and now Excella maybe looking for a bit of action here on the corner.
-1.
Now Wokie's position certainly known. Black actually maybe not necessarily aware. I wonder if Wookie will be able to hear a rotation from Black here. I have to keep an eye on Nashi as well as he gets himself up there. Some sort of invisible wall. It's fun. Oh, and there it is. Black spotted him out. Wookie doesn't pop up and land the shots. Black able to swing wide and get that kill. This is going to open up the entry a little bit. As Nashi challenging Theta here. A flash comes out and over. I don't think that catches Theta. Nashi does push up. Theta's right here on the corner. The trade comes in. Nashi goes down. Excella on the back end, maybe looking for a longer range shot, but if anything, it's just suppressive fire, and we're into a 2v2. And find this rotation here. Oh, it does look like Excella's going to swing over and reinforce Black's position. Pretty smart move. They can swing and potentially catch the backside of Sky Joker. If these two bunch up and rotate long, you can end up coming in through this back end and maybe having a line of sight there onto Sky. Sky, I think, aware of this threat, though, and it's why he's positioned here, but yeah, very much watching for that long rotation. Which does open up the middle even more, so maybe the middle entry point's going to be the right choice here. Excella getting a huge pick. Now they have to push through middle. It is tough, though. Middle's a challenge. There's so many angles you can get shot from, so many things to hide behind. Good bit of smoke coming in there. Sky Joker. Oh, Excella clicks out of ammo. Didn't get the reload, and Sky able to cross and rotate through this smoke. And now in his position, he has to watch both ends. He seems to be wary of this. He sees the swing, but Black hits the shots first before he can react. OJC take control of map 2 and snag round 1. Whew. A good attack. Certainly a stronger attack there from OJC. Quickly rotating over to that side and then pushing in from that side dominantly. And able to get Wookie. Wookie could have just shut down OJC entirely if he decided to get a little bit more aggressive on his position, but a good bounce back from that C4 double, and ultimately they managed to get the dub on Marsoc nonetheless. Those Marsoc round wins, oftentimes the most challenging to lock in, so pretty impressive. Pretty good job from OJC here on this first round of Snow Peak. I gotta wonder how having predetermined maps will affect the overall, like, how people play against each other. Are they gonna practice maybe unique specific strats to the map they know is coming that week? I think it opens up some interesting possibilities. So the different style, the different format, certainly something that I don't hate, and I'm interested to see how it sort of develops over the course of the couple of weeks that this tournament's going on. Catching up on chat, yeah, points definitely an important element here in this tournament, as they always are. They help determine, if the team is tied, for example, they'll be moving on, or in the event that there's finals and stuff like that. So if a team is tied, it'll determine who is above the other team. So the points certainly do matter at the end of the day. So OJC, to keep things close in cargo is certainly good. Now we'll see if they can get this map 2 as we hop into round 2. And we'll see what OJC do to defend, because they had a great offensive push there. Early angle here may catch Theta. Theta just avoiding the exposure. Wookie also could potentially find an angle. Nashi actually trading with James. And Kogeru's pushing up off of those shots. He's feeling aggressive. Wookie's positioned right here. How's this Sky? Sky's got an angle lasered in here. We've dialed in on this edge. Oh, a bit of team fire. It's tagged in the back, but pushes up forward off of it. Wookie swings wide. Black tucked in, not pushing forward, not challenging the corner. Going to allow Wookie to push up to him. And Wookie actually catches him out. His prone position there, exposing him a bit too much. Good shots from Wookie.
Joker dead.
Excella trying to deal with Mono. He picks up another, and now it's all on to Excella's shoulders in a 1v3. A good offensive push coming in from Mayhem here, forcing this rotation, and Excella does nearly get caught out as he rotates. Wookie's hunting. Excella works up and able to get out of Wookiee's line of sight, but he's got to worry about Theta and Mono, who are also... Theta and Mono, who are also rotating around on the opposite end. But I think he's in the clear here. He can get a bit of a better angle on that OBJ and be guarding it from a potential cap. Meanwhile, on board Wookiee is going to rotate around and pillage his opponent, most likely for some utility.
What's up?
Flash comes out, just up and over. Not going to do any damage, not going to be terribly effective, but this rotation may get Wookiee a kill or get him killed, depending if his opponent's ready to defend. Excella's actually tucked into the hangar, so we're seeing through it, but Wookiee can't, and so he's not going to know Excella's just on the other side of that metal. Going to continue his advance. Another nade coming out, another flash. Excella not reacting off of it, gonna stay tucked in his back position. Now this could, I don't know if this is going to work. I'm trying to find out what Wookiee's plan is here. I don't know where he's gone. Thought he was gonna rotate in through this side, but oh, there he is, tucked in up against the corner. Is coming around for a long flank, 2:30 on the clock, so he has time. Excella really has to make sure they're defending that objective completely. I think there's all kinds of angles they could potentially cap if the likes of Theta and Mono were to come in from the center, but this pinch is coming in from both ends. Gotta wonder if Excella is even ready for anything like this. It doesn't seem like he's very aware. He is checking a little bit behind him, just gandering, but he's not really putting a full force into it, so... The tension here as it builds, a minute 50 now. Excella swings out to find Mono. An extended rotation. You need him very early on, but ultimately forgets about Mono, who then finally gets the kill onto Excella, locking in round 2 for Mayhem. Keeping things close in this series. Love to see it. Can't complain one bit about the action unfolding here in front of us, folks. This is some good back and forth for sure. A great bit of a matchup between OJC and Mayhem, and Snowpeak certainly delivering. That objective, pretty exciting once the teams get up into position. This next objective we are heading to also, you know, like I said, there's some close quarters maps, there's some close quarters objectives and some longer range ones. This objective is going to take us inside the depths of the bunker of Snowpeak. Obviously, you have to weave your way through several lanes and tunnels to finally get to what is the objective. A couple of different entry points, obviously, depending on how you want to approach, depending on where your spawn is. It can come from the north, can come from the south, but it is going to, for the most part, come down to the close quarters exchanges that we see inside here. Maybe we'll see some aggressive defensive positioning where they'll extend and push out to try and engage the offense before they get themselves into position. Coming in through these tunnels, you can certainly get aggressive, but most offensives do watch for that and are aware of the threat of these tunnel entry points. So we'll see what happens as we hop into round number 3 of map 2. So far, a great series. Wow, and look at this, a very quick spawn coming in from OJC. They'll be right on top of the defense in no time, quickly pushing in through the tunnels, and we'll see if this Defense is ready for the quick spawn. Yes, they are, as one kill comes in. CK going to swing out. Kong pushing fire downrange towards Mono. They're gonna need some smokes here. Kong in such a dangerous position to be peeking this lane after already losing one. DK tries to swing out, tries to get some shots onto James, but James finds that confirm. A nade comes out. The res getting scooped up. All three bunched in here on this corner. Certainly risky. Nashi can't peek that 4 times. James won't allow it. He gets that kill. Another smoke comes in to really deny James some vision. Wow, James nearly guesses the location of that LMG off of the rotation. Casella tries to come up over top. Kogeru gets one on the inside. Could apply some pressure here. A great flash lands on the James. Here comes the push. Japan gets tagged down as Wookie swings wide and comes out the tunnel entry point. Denies what could have been a potential hard push, and Mayhem take the lead 2-1. And that would have been a great replay. But we're still shaking the cobwebs. Okay, I'm getting the action now. Okay, replays are up next. Replays, maybe map 3. I think we head to it either way, because like I said, the points matter, but maybe I'll get some replays in here on Snow Peak. Either way, OJC just not able to push through that defense. Great job from James and crew of instantly recognizing the spawn, reacting off it, and then Wookie to get that double. He's had a great game so far today, and going to continue to be a threat most likely for this OJC team. So have to figure out a way to deal with him. He's 5-1 on Snow Peak right now. Pretty strong KD. Again, a quick shout out to everyone that is tuning in today. I do appreciate you. I do recommend hitting that follow button if you haven't already, because there's going to be obviously more VRML Onward games cast here over the course of the next few weeks as we get into this map pool tournament. Teams of all different rankings will be competing, and we'll be covering teams from, you know, a relative bronze rank to you know, diamond tier. So we're going to be covering everything. And I do recommend you follow this channel so that you can always be catching that action. Round number 4 underway here. How will OJC defend? How is Mayhem going to attack? They've got themselves
You're north?
a different
Do you wanna
spot.
Good.
Right here?
No.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
take the other one then. Thank you. I'll let you do all the
Let's just
blasting.
go straight for north control.
Okay.
Not necessarily as quick as that other spawn is, and James and Wookie going on the long rotation.
Actually, I'll go wide and you just hold this passageway.
Instantly,
wounded him, but
shots
he's still
coming
up.
in. Nashi actually getting a bit aggressive on defense. Drops back after hitting those shots. Tucks in behind the crate. The push continues to come in. That's a good toss up and over. It's just a nade, though, and it does allow Nashi to peek. Great little bit of play there. He peeks off of his nade. Can't get mono as he tucks in, and maybe we'll decide that it's not worth defending this position as he drops back. We are just in the tunnels, duking it out right now.
No, we're getting pinched right now.
Mono and Theta have pushed up. They're a little bit concerned about getting trapped or getting pushed in from their back end. Theta very concerned about that LMG fire that was coming in. Black here exposed down this lane. Mono can't quite find the shots.
Lag, dude. There's one in there. He's on all the way in the other corridor.
Nashi tries to challenge Theta, can't get it. Doesn't find any success. Theta scoops up one, and look at this. The rest of this OJC team defending this hallway. Nades, flashes, suppressive fire. Kogeru finds one, finds the refrag, but it's going to cost him his life, and Mayhem have the 4v3 advantage. You have to go on board the likes of James. Is getting danger close to flanking here for the likes of OJC.
Person's body? No.
Hey, do you want my
Right,
frag?
smoke this. Yeah, smoke, please.
push coming in from Mono. He's playing it pretty reserved. Sky Joker also playing this pretty slow, so it could be bad news for the likes of James and Wookie if they get a little too aggressive. Not sure what James got down by. It sounded like an explosion, so maybe a C4 or a nade. The follow-up flash actually comes out, but is CK going to push up off of it? Gets the res under the smoke. CK playing it cautiously, playing tucked in. Very tucked in. Scoops up one over the top of the crate. Wookie gonna try and find this frag. Pumps some rounds into the box, but can't get the shots. Mono trades with Black. Wookie gets one, and now it's a 2v1 for OJC. Excella, the final defender, and he's taking hits from Sky Joker. C4 tossed out, maybe recognizing that the rotation is coming in from behind him. Doesn't think Sky has swung like he has and is surprised, caught out. And down he goes. Mayhem 3-1 now on this second map. They're looking danger close to taking this series out from underneath the hands of OJC. PogChamp, we just got donated $500, everybody. Woo. Let's go. Could you imagine if that was my reaction? You can't troll me, Chad. I'm aware. I know what's going on. I'm hip to the times. I know how things work. Maybe if you're watching on YouTube, you don't know what's going on. But these games are broadcast live on twitch.tv/onward_VRML. So if you ever want to catch the live action, you can. And if you're watching on Twitch and you want to catch the recordings, you can always head on over to the Onward VRML YouTube, where we're going to try and bolster up the content that's getting thrown out there. You might see some new stuff coming down the pipeline from the creators team that we're looking to expand upon. There's going to be a lot of great content on there, so maybe get in ahead of the trend. Watch back all of the VODs and whatnot that gets thrown there, but it's going to be a good spot to get all of the Onward fix that you need if you have missed any of the action that gets broadcast here on this channel. And speaking of missing action, we don't want to miss any of it as we get ready for round number 5. As I say that, maybe a bit of a debate on the start time there. I don't think they were all quite ready to get going. Next objective, though, is going to be moving into the hangar in that far north corner. Always a fun one to see get pushed in, see how these teams defend, and I think now we are prepared and ready to hop into our next round. Defensive rollout coming in. Early suppressive shots from Nashi over the top. Don't find their target. And their spawn now sort of given away to the likes of Mayhem. Still plenty of space to work with and play with for this OJC team. But for now, we're going to see some good direction of focus from this Mayhem squad over to these 3 at least. Looking at the overhead, 2 have branched off. They're sending a long rotation south. See how that pays off. It's going to certainly take a couple of minutes. Guru and Nashi just holding some tight angles on either side here, just in case there's some aggressive defensive rotations coming in, but Theta's not going to get overzealous and push up from his spot, and he's going to let Koguru come to him. He's actually going to drop back, reinforce Nashi and Black, and see how these three work themselves up through this lane. And again, we have the other rotation south coming in. I could get over there, but it's a little wonky. We'll fly over. Everything's perfect as Excella and CK do manage to get this long south cross going. They're going to get all the way around. Koguru actually finds one. Got that flip sight where you can get a little extra range. He's looking for more. He's getting a little bit aggressive here. Maybe, oh, he tagged Theta there. Meanwhile, that rotation continues. They have not stopped sprinting since they've been sent south, and they are getting eventually into that position where they attack. Koguru finds another mono, getting taken down on another long-range shot from Koguru. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably butchering it. We're just trying to split the attention here because it's what they eventually want to do to this Mayhem defense. They may not need to if you just keep killing folks from range. Confirmed shots there, and those are almost shots that are pretty dang close to another opponent who is going to take up that corner again. Maybe try and peek Koguru and try and find out where he's taking those shots. Sky Joker crosses, and he does see that cross. Callouts coming in, and you can see way in the distance. Rotation from Excella. Gets spotted. A nice ID from James. CK can get this res. Koguru is dropping off of his position. Actually pushing forward with the rest of his squad here. CK, Nashi all deciding to charge in. 2:15 on the clock, so they don't have a ton of time left, which is why the push is coming forward. Suppressive fire allowing Excella to push up. I love to see a good use of suppressive fire. It can do so much for a team when they're trying to charge in on a defensive position here. And James tries to peek up. Smoke coming in from Excella, nicely placed, but James can sit and wait for him to come through. We're going to have to keep our attention split. We're going to try and stay on board Excella as you do see the other two trying to crash in. James and Sky Joker, the final two defenders. C4 detonates, catches one up on the initial push. Koguru coming in. Sky Joker is tucked in here, waiting for the charge in from two. Pads out, finds one, gets Nashi, down he goes. The push from OJC shut down. Black, as he comes in, taking shots from up over the top. He knows Sky Joker's in there, and he's going to swing, get him on the corner. Now he's got two more to deal with. Wookie actually in a bit of a tight spot because CK is just here. He finds one. CK's to his right. Does he get him? No. CK finds the final kill. And in a 1v1, manages to put them up. Well, get them closer and close the gap on that lead. 2-3 now for OJC. Wow. That was a great finale to that round. Nicely timed, a good push. Wookie nearly saving it for his team, but can't quite do it. Can't quite lock in this round 2 victory just yet. OJC holding on. They're going to try their hand at defense. See if they can prevent the likes of Mayhem from pushing in on them. It's been actually predominantly Marsoc round heavy here on Snow Peak, which is always interesting. You know, these sort of a little fun fact. Do a little stretching here as we get to about the halfway mark in the series. Okay. Now the blood flow is good, and we're ready to soldier on forward here. Let's take a quick look at the KDs. Sky Joker 5-3. Koguru doing great there on that last round, getting a bunch of kills. Now 5-5. And Wookie, geez, again on Snow Peak this time, 8-2. Actually, I think he's had that high kitty. I remember, what was it on? He had some good kills on Cargo too. Either way, just a solid round from him still. Doing well to get those kills, and again, nearly clutched that last round, so really solid performance from him as we, again, get ready to dive into another round, round 6 of Snow Peak. OJC trying to take it the distance here on this second map. See if they can do it, see if they can push it to a tie, see if they can push it to another objective. Gonna take a bit of an effort here. They are getting mirrored spawns, so maybe they'll be a little bit more ready for this push in. We're just watching Nashi play with fire, really. Peeking these corners, super dangerous. This Mayhem team really scanning hard. James actually with a pretty risky cross, pretty exposed, does manage to get there. Fortunate enough that no angles are on him, and it looks like this full offense.
So we had 3 north.
Yeah, it's going south. James recognizing this.
Joker and I are going through the middle. We didn't specify very much beyond you going somewhere.
Okay. You guys control it northeast, whatever direction you take, but the northeast somewhere. Yeah, get through the middle, that's fine.
Interesting call-outs. Looks like we're going to get a 2-1 split. 2-2-1 split, excuse me. We'll really have to watch Nasi's position. It's going to become an important one here. It's going to be covering that center entry point. He seems to be relatively aware of that potential threat, so it's going to be easy for Theta or Sky to push up, and they do hear that call out, drops back, and I think both of them hear each other. That's a good flash.
Back up, he just tried to flash.
I think it's good enough, though. Theta seems to have vision still. Another nade coming in. This one's actually a pretty good nade. Doesn't get far enough. Theta stays alive. Shots coming in from Wookie now down towards the defense.
Yep.
Nashi able to pop up and scoop up a kill. Theta goes down. A nice denial of entry through the center. Sky dropping off of that support, and just great timing. What Sky decides to do here. Oh, almost takes out Wookie. That's what he decides to do.
My bad.
Wookie's got a heal now, and what is Nashi going to do? He's going to go down. Mono actually going to be the one to do it. Way down from the other side of the map. That long rotation. Finally catching him exposed and pays off, but it is exposed, so him coming in from the south now should be known, and it's really going to come down to how they attack objective with such limited time. 2:45 on the clock. They need to start getting closer to this OBJ. Suppressive fire. James taking some shots. Sky Joker getting a confirm there onto that forward defender that Mono scooped up, and 2 minutes now. See how Sky and Wookie are going to push in here up through the center. The collapse needs to happen, though, and it needs to happen soon. Black's right here. Is he going to be ready for the swing up from Wookiee? Here's the shots. He certainly should be dialed in. And down he goes. Wookiee getting scooped up. Some great shots from Black in that tight cornered position. Spots out a little bit of a head and takes him down. And now with a minute 30, this is exactly what Excella wants. He just needs to buy time, force these enemies to suppress him like they are, and deny them the ability to push forward. Oh, Excella IDing James there. Can't land the shots. Mono peeking up and over. Doesn't see Excella, and Excella misses a lot. Mono on the reload gets killed. What a nade toss. Sign him up for the NFL. A great toss from James. Doesn't hit his target. Goes just a bit wide, but ultimately he gets the kill. Mono going to be able to get res. CK going to reinforce this position now that he knows it's weak with a flash. It's a bit too high of a flash. A nade too, but it's a bit too close. 38 seconds left. Black gets Sky trying to come in through the center, and it's going to come down to how James enters. He doesn't get the res onto Mono. Maybe he doesn't have the utility available. And there it is. CK tucked into the corner. Kogeru drawing James' attention, and a solid hold from OJC. We're tied up in this second map. I think this very well could go to a map 3 decider on Panda Towers. Woo. Shout out to some of those new followers. I do appreciate you. Ooh, almost swallowed that word. Maybe, let's see here. Have the ability on this channel? No. Love to run some predictions for you guys where you can use channel points to predict who you think's going to win, but doesn't seem to be an option for me right now, so maybe we'll figure out what the solution is for that, but be a little more interaction with you folks watching at home. Great series, great back and forth so far today. I mean, OJC just holding solid, finding good kills, getting into some unorthodox positions that are netting them some kills that OJC just aren't ready for and don't see coming. And you know, this next round not going to be easy for OJC, and trying to see where we're going to be heading objective-wise. It is going to be, oh yeah, over in that northeast corner. Definitely a sort of breach objective where you have to get inside this room to capture the OBJ. So we'll see how OJC try and do it as we dive into the final round of map 2. Several entry points to this objective room. Sky Joker is going to be watching a pretty standard one where the teams can come in through this major tunnel. We'll be keeping an eye on this entry point as well where the rest of this team is going. If you look at the overhead, the 3-2 split. They're going to be coming in from where we were just looking at, and then they're also going to be entering in from that inside point. Going to be a bit of a longer haul, and they're not going to have much resistance. As you can see, we're seeing through the walls, and no one's been positioned really outside of the objective area. Everyone's playing this one pretty tight, as you have to on this objective.
Yeah, when we were playing, that's pretty good.
Mono, watching outside with Seda.
What? You told me to come inside?
Yeah, because then you said you're pushing out to the collective point.
Ooh, and a good call.
Middle.
My controller's turned to shit. Someone cover me. Just turning it off.
James gets him to push out. Mono instantly finds one. CK wary now of his advance forward and playing it a little bit closer to the vest. But an early advantage into the hands of Mayhem. We're going to have to keep our attention split, though, because this Excella, Black, and Kogeru trio is working themselves up here over this northeast end. think that was a full flash from CK.
Going around the outside. He went to the right. Theta, watch your rear.
Incredibly far forward. The call out comes in, and Theta turns to find the kill. CK just getting a little bit too far forward there. Not quite timing it up with the push that is working itself up from Excella and Black, and now it's a 3v5. Mayhem looking good. They can lock this one in. They've got the series. Cougar trying to push in through the center. IDs some C4, takes shots, and decides better about pushing forward on that. Inside the OBJ, everyone playing this one again. Pretty conservative. Nothing really too far forward. Theta, if anything, going to be the one that's going to run into the action first. And Kogaru reinforcing. Nearly surprises his team to death. Black almost took some shots. And it's Excella pushing ever so slightly up here. Cautious of that doorway. Kogaru, who wasn't initially going to push in from that spot, does decide to return. Maybe he can make his entry up through where that C4 was towards Wookiee. .230 left. And it's just all silent. Everyone playing this one super quiet. The hush across the battlefield. No comms. No one radioing in anything. Everyone just lasered into their angles. Theta's position should pay dividends here. Black doesn't see him. Down he goes.
Another dead north.
It is one kill, but will Excella react off of it?
Yes, -1.
Wookiee finds Kogaru trying to exit out from the tunnel. Theta fully flashes. Excella swings wide and gets the kill. Mono here, though, peeks the corner. Finds him easily, and Mayhem taking a strong command of map 2. That's map 2. Map 3, I think, still does get played out, and like I said, it's going to be Panda Towers. Thanks, Fitz, for the shout out. Appreciate you. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm ready to rock and roll. Maybe. Oh, I might not have. Oh boy. I'm not getting taken with them, so I'm assuming something has happened here. Was on me. Update indeed needed. It's been secured. Let's dive into the action. Apologies for the quick tech hiccup, but we are all good. Ready to go on the custom map Panda Towers. Truthfully, not terribly familiar with this one. I did watch, obviously, the cast from Mono the other day on this map, so looking forward to a couple of things that I saw happen there. Maybe that'll unfold here, but map variety is the beauty of this tournament, and really the true beauty is that it's all community made, right? This is part of that workshop, part of the custom maps that folks are out there putting their hard work into. Give me a second here as we set up the lobby. Give the teams the go-ahead, and we will be underway. Sweet. Although it isn't a series decider, OJC has certainly given Mayhem a run for their money, so I do expect for this final map for it to be pretty dang close. One thing I do like about this map is the verticality. You know, you don't often get a ton of verticality in Onward's original map pool. It's there, sure. There's some 4 stories and whatnot, but I suppose at this scale, there's just some huge separations of height, you know, several stories high, 5 to 6 up there, and it changes a little bit how you play, how you work yourself around maps. So it's gonna be fun to watch. Both squads readied up, ready to rock. OJC taking the Volk side to kick things off. If you aren't familiar, the home team picks side since there are no bans and there is no map choice. The only thing they get to choose is which side they start on. So OJC obviously opting for that Volk end, and just a few moments we'll see how this thing shakes out. Also, while we're all here and we have a bit of downtime, a quick reminder of the Onward charity tournament happening Saturday, April 3rd. We are going to be broadcasting some of those matches here on this channel, so if you do want to catch some of that action, you can tune in here. It's also going to be hopefully some scrimcasters getting their beaks wet and casting some games, so should be a pretty dang exciting time. I'm looking forward to it. A ton of great teams signed up for that event, and obviously it's for charity, so get in there and donate when the event comes around. We're here, we're ready to dive into map number 3. As both teams have readied up, the timer has ticked down, round 1 beginning. And we're gonna see some action right out the gate, as is pretty standard with custom maps. The action tends to unfold pretty quick. Theta here does swing out in spots. Nashi on the bridge. Nashi able to get the kill. Confirm coming in from Kogaru, and now we'll see if this height separation plays into effect as Sky Joker and Wookiee work up. Mono doing a good job to keep Nashi tucked in. Rest of his team works themselves up on the edge. James also on the other side. He's getting pretty close to Black in those stairs. Nashi's dropped back, and look at this. 3 dialed into this bridge to shut down Mono. Finally get the kill from Kogaru. Rest of the squad has, however, gotten across and pushed up to objective building side. See how that approached up. It looks like they will end up actually probably meeting up with James to then challenge Black on the stairs. Oh, and James actually winning that trade. Swings out on the corner and gets Black. A huge kill. It's going to open up the stairwell here for him to charge forward in. Now has the flank too. Scoops up another kill. Sky Joker and Wookiee coming up the stairs. CK Japan in a tough spot as the push comes in. And it's on objective. Kogaru needs to crash back. This could be a cap. Oh, it's a good flash, but it's a little too early. Kogeru is not blinded, able to get one. Wookie eyes on, looking for the refrag. Ducks behind the pillar, swings out and gets the kill. In the meanwhile, it's up to James going up against CK. He's blinded. CK, he doesn't see him behind him. CK does turn and get the kill, and it was a great flash from James. Doesn't get him the kill he was looking for. OJC hang on and take a round. Yeah, you may notice that I am using... I just muted myself. That I am using the HyperX mic that you do see on the ads. It's pretty rad. I mean, they're not lying. It's got some RGB. I can change these colors however I want. Obviously got them to match the blue for the VRML, but looks like we are getting also most likely a influx of Echo Arena folk. You may be familiar with me because I have done some Echo, but here we are in an Onward matchup. This is the map pool tournament. Not necessarily a regular season going on right now, but still a tournament for teams to compete competitively against, and we're on our final map of the series. Every map gets played because points do matter at the end of the event. If there's any ties, any sort of tiebreaker that's needed, how many points you scored over the course of your tournament does matter. So Panda Towers do want to lock in, or Panda Towers, OJC do want to lock in this Panda Towers W. If they can do that, they're up to a good start. 1-0 lead. Managed to defend against what was looking like a potentially Mayhem cap, honestly. They were right there on that objective, ready to punch in the code, but couldn't quite get set up in time, and ultimately OJC able to defend. Round 2 now beginning. Let's see how the attack from Mayhem, or excuse me, how the attack from OJC goes.
了解。2階ですかこれ。
1階、2階 ?1 階か
これは、いや、
あんない。
あー、2階だ。
1階。
じゃあ、急ぎますか。
はい、了解です。じゃあ僕
じゃあ第1段階と第2段階のスモーク、ジャムさんとレイスさんに任せるんで。
ああ、
お願いします。
多分大丈夫。
レイさんが投げたらいいですか
行きます。
OJC going to be challenging this bridge pretty early. Gonna try and smoke it out and push up into some cover. And it's not being very heavily covered by the likes of Mayhem. Mayhem's going to allow this, it seems. You can see there in the bottom left of your screen the other duo pushing forward. And they're just bounding up here with smokes. 3 smokes to get them where they are, up through this bridge. And now suppressive fire from Theta catches one through the smoke, gets another! And the C4 gets both down, and I think there was a team kill there that someone got caught up, but the C4 catches out Axella and Nashi inside the smoke. Huge C4 that now puts the rest of this round onto the hands of Black and Kogeru. And it looks like I kind of like this approach, though. They are splitting both ends of the stairs.
One's dead, one's dead.
Wookie here, C4 in hand. The question is, he's waited too long for it. Peeks out, detonates the C4 when he sees him on the stairs. Doesn't get shot and finds the kill. All comes down to Black working his way up his stairs. He'll be popping out and going up against Joker tucked into a corner. Confirm kills coming in. Players just shooting downed bodies to make sure that those bodies cannot be rezzed. Black seemingly aware of the potential corner here, and Joker able to get the trade, get those shots off before he goes down. Black not able to come out alive, and OJC lose that round. Mayhem hang on to the defense. We're tied up 1-1 here on this custom map. Yeah, I think I caught the host just in time, I believe, but yeah, appreciate everyone that's been tuning in today. If you do like watching Onward, again, I recommend hitting that follow button. We've already had a couple of follows come through from some new folks, which I do appreciate, and obviously more Onward action is going to be here on this channel the course of the next few weeks, so you're not going to want to miss it. Cast coming in from the likes of Trip, Mono, Theta, everyone's going to be jumping in on some of these games, so yeah, some exciting matchups too. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing some of these teams compete. OJC and Mayhem certainly was a duo that a matchup that I wanted to tune into because I knew it was going to be good. I know both of these teams very talented. They put in the work. Mayhem looking really good today, on point with their coordinated strategies, synced up, good comms. They're really just challenging OJC. OJC really seems to me to be rising to the occasion, defending well. They have good comms of their own, but ultimately it just wasn't enough over those first 2 rounds. They nearly took Snow Peak, but couldn't quite do it, and we'll see if they can take a map, because they do want to at least get one under their belt. Now round number 3 kicking off for us.
あ、こっちか。
そうそうそう。
I'm curious how they're going to attack this one. It's looking like they're going to swing early. Mono and Black, and a quick bit of trading here. Koguro could go and get the res on the Black. We'll see if he ends up going for it, as Wookie is swinging in from the back end here and could be a threat.
There to get control of the other end.
Res does come in. Able to get that up. Theta finds one. More shots coming in. Well, seemingly from Black, but not really directed at anyone. Theta runs into another. Swings wide on Black there, who does actually dip around, and that's Wookie, excuse me, who gets the kill. Nashi finds Theta up top. James maybe next on the hit list. Get there just in time. James finds the kill. Wookie getting Kogeru. CK now. The final defender. If they have an accurate kill count, this is a pretty easy cap, honestly. They can suppress. James has vision.
あ、やべやべやべやべやべ。
I don't think CK knows he's the last one, though. Either way, the shots are going to ring in. He's going to get scooped up. The nade might have caught him. Actually, the nade did catch him, but those shots were going to get him next. Either way, Mayhem securing round 3 here pretty quick. This objective certainly does not look easy to defend, though. I mean, to have that bridge be an element that you have to defend on, you really got to spread out, spread yourselves pretty thin. Ultimately, there are limited entry points to the OBJ, so if you don't want to, you don't actually have to, but we'll see. We'll see what the Mayhem defense looks like, if they play it conservatively or if they're looking for kills up on those stairs like we saw OJC there. Getting a little over-aggressive, maybe, that ultimately did get them killed. Whew. A solid series, though. Glad we tuned into this one. Take a brief tea break as we prep for round 4. I know I said I'd get replays going, but I just have been not focusing on it. The cams, huh? They got better. I told you they would. But the casting and the running replays just sometimes gets to be a little bit overload. Round 4. Let's see how Mayhem defends. I think this might be Mono's map.
I don't have great vision across because of the snow.
A kill from Sky. Instantly tags one cross, trying to work themselves on an open side there. Kogeru is going to repeat this, though. Wookie is tucked in. He won't be able to be spotted. Black could potentially be a threat as he does swing in for maybe a flank there. Maybe hitting James and Mono. He's got the height here up onto this ridge, but look at the defense. Nobody really sitting out in the open to even be challenged from the bridge. They're all tucked into the corners of the entry points. This is what I was talking about. You do not need to worry about defending bridge or having any control of it if you can defend these entry points. Wookie staying prone, avoiding detection. He's looking up, most likely on his back there. The IK, not quite sure how to work that. OJC, they're not getting over aggressive here on this push. Mono did peek just for a brief moment up to that bridge. He may be able to find Excella. I do wonder when this push is going to come in, because they can't do anything from the positions they're in. They can't do anything from that bridge. They have to eventually challenge the entry points. There it is. Kogeru going to go inside and challenge. The swing from Mono nearly gets him dead.
Skybridge, James is dead.
Bella and Black both looking for kills. Although they are down to 4, OJC is down to 3, so the advantage still in Mayhem's hands.
Just confirming.
They'd have taken some shots. Black thought about peeking, but doesn't. 250 left. They're going to have to crash down to objective. Have to work down these stairs and eventually get into the face of Sky and whoever else is holding these entry points.
There's someone probably in the crack. Watch out.
Mono finds one up on the Sky Bridge. Nashi maybe up next on his hit. Let's see it. That's a quick double.
It's crack.
Look at this, everybody. I did it. There's the elbow. Peeks out. Joker tags him down. And a solid hold from Mayhem as they force OJC to push in to their entry points. And a solid hold that nets them a 3-1 lead now on this map. Gotta love it, though. A good performance from both teams still, nonetheless. Mayhem really just looking clean here, looking good. You know, despite maybe a full understanding of the map, they had a good defensive setup there, and it did look like OJC sort of recognized that even though they had that bridge control, that it didn't really do too much for them. They didn't really, if anything, it just cost them lives. it did work for Mayhem because OJC was set up in some vulnerable positions to that bridge, and because of that, they felt they had to invest time in defending the bridge. So, again, you know, this is what you get when you're on some newer maps. You just get a diversity of style, so to speak, and pull up that double kill that Mono rang out. It certainly was a nice one. Yeah, and that was the shutdown. You know, the attempted setup, the attempted attack gets denied by Mono several times, really. He had another kill there at that entry point before that as well. So a solid hold overall from Mayhem. Let's take a look at the KDs there. Yeah, Mono 3-2, James 5-2, Wookie 4-1. Still just playing great for Wookie here across the whole series. What could be the final round begins here. If Mayhem can lock it in, they've got themselves 3 maps in the books.
Hey, these beds look fucking cool. And I could be a lot more performant, but I'd have to redo it all. It really sucked, that part would, but it would play better. Okay, they already shot Skybridge, so they're watching?
Yeah.
And the ever-contested Skybridge here.
Push over here.
Okay, I was just checking.
Data and Mono.
Didn't see anything right side so far. Peeking to the left a little bit.
Spotted.
Uh-oh. There's one on the left side, Mono.
Left side of Skybridge on their side.
Data trying to get some shots off. Kogeru finds the angle, though, underneath the table. Very minimal exposure here. Wow, that nearly tagged CK. That got real close. I think that was an M203 launch. Either way, it's going to really come down to the rest of this offense, how they approach Sky Joker and Wookie. Going to be challenging Axel Reed's position soon enough. The bridge being held by Mono. Look at the overhead. Still got... We have another one also coming in from the other stairs, so they're going to try and split their stair entries.
中央階段一人来てる。
Ooh, and Mono actually
Skybridge.
catching CK, getting very aggressive, pushing up. I mean, CK could have easily sat back on objective, but decides to get a little bit aggressive. Still watching the stairs, the C4 comes in. Pretty nicely tossed. Should be easy to identify, though. Actually, no, it might be pretty tough to identify until it might be too late. Joker taking the elevator. Instantly a threat up top. It seems like Kogeru heard that and is rotating over to defend it. Hits the button and he goes down, so maybe a bait to force Kogeru over to the elevator. C4 gets detonated. And yeah, Kogeru is a little bit concerned about this instant entry point up here. Excella did not know Kogeru was around the corner. Surprise, takes shots and kills him. Wookie here. Pushing upstairs through the smoke. The trade. Excella able to get res, but Sky Joker pops up through the elevator and finds one. Mayhem a kill away from securing this map as Black is the final defender. ID's 1. James. Maybe next on his hit list. Black could come back from this. He's in a good spot, honestly, to defend the approach. wonder if he's going to consider challenging Mono, and if James is going to sync this up properly with Mono's push. Seems to be is. Black has him ID'd. Mono not charging in just yet. Black able to tuck himself all the way in, swing all the way behind James. James seems to be ready for that. Takes some shots, hits Black in the chest. Utility nade. Flash comes out. James is blinded, but blindly shoots Black down as he tries to push in from the corner. Mayhem lock in another round W and another map W to take all three. Solid performance from both teams. Glad I tuned in to catch the match. Appreciate everyone that has been hanging out and watching the action with me. A great bit of Onward action. I'm going to be heading out, though. That'll be it for us here on the VRML as well. So, again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. We will be back with more Onward VRML, most likely next week, if not more this weekend. So be sure to tune in. But that's been it from me. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I will see you all next time.